Happy Friday. Hello, how's everybody doing? Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm a little raspy. We are at that phase where the body has kicked the shit out of the illness and is purging out. So, anyway, what y'all up to? Figured I'd hop on here and say hello. I wasn't going to, but this was another one of those early mornings where yesterday, for whatever reason, I was just real sleepy all day yesterday, man. So I passed out early. Been up since like 2. So I figure get on here and run my mouth for a little bit. Get on here and blab for a little bit and then get this day started. I done laid low all day yesterday. I had like 2 personal readings and I just did those and didn't feel like flipping cards or nothing. You know that because like I was saying last chat, we were feeling a little under the weather. Had some sinuses and sinus problems and whatnot. Now we're both at that stage where like the immune system won the battle, and now all that shit is getting coughing it up and purging it out and that whole stage. So anyway, hello y'all. What's up with you? What's happening? What's up with you? Oh, what y'all up to? Got any good plans? Got any good plans for today? Yeah, I don't know, man. Have y'all noticed? I've heard a few people talk about this. Not anybody that I know personally, but just the people on the internet that I follow. I mainly follow truthers in the truth community on other platforms, like Telegram and BitChute and whatnot. There's a couple of them here on YouTube. There's like 2 that I follow, but the majority of the people that I follow are all on different platforms. And I heard yesterday one of them say that as soon as the clock struck 22, everything changed. And I'm like, I feel that. I feel that. Anybody else like, I mean, it's always cute to say that, like, ooh, new year, new me. But is the last couple of days of 21 phasing into 22 was the most intense physical feelings that I've ever had as far as a shift or a change. And one thing that I know I've talked about it a little bit, but I kind of failed to take into consideration was Mercury retrograde. The pre-shadow started, the last I read it was on the 29th. Last I read it was on the 29th. So I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. But it's really hard for me to tell with this one. It's real hard for me to tell because we've been feeling a little under the weather. It's difficult to tell what is our bodies recovering and what is the pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. It's really difficult to tell because for a couple of days, I'm like, man, this is pre-shadow. This ain't that bad. I don't think. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. I can't even tell. Can't even tell. Anyway, yeah, it's coming here soon. It is. Zen 1111. Yep, it sure is. Yep. Hey, I'm looking forward to shit getting backwards. That's good. That's good. That's good. Oops, I hid your my bad. I didn't mean to do that. Hold up. I didn't mean to delete your message. I meant to click show it. I guess because you said a cuss word and it hit it. I didn't mean to click hide. My bad. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to it going backwards because that's actually not backwards. Here's the funny thing about that. It's so funny you said that because it's not about to get backwards. It's about to turn around the right way. We've been living backwards our whole fucking lives. That's the thing. That's what's so funny about it. That's what's so funny about it. That's hilarious, man. Because we've been the ones who are backwards. We were born into a backward system, brainwashed into living our fucking lives and manifesting our life experience backwards. No, everything's about to turn around the right way. Is what's happening. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get what you're saying. I dig. I feel it. I wouldn't really say there's a purpose of retrograde. It's just a natural. It's just a natural thing. Just a natural thing. It's what happens. Now, okay. I'm not really going to go down this rabbit hole here, but the model of that we're given, the Earth and the solar system and how all that works, Um, it's when the planets are around on the other side and it appears to be spinning backwards instead of. Does that make sense? Now, I've met some people who are connected to very high places who have told me that that model is not correct, that it's not true. I've met people who have been affiliated with very, very high uh, positions. That's all I'm going to say about that. Who have straight up told me, it's not true. It's a lie. Okay, cool, whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. But whatever it is, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I don't have the time or the energy for that today. But whatever it is, it's not like something that has a purpose necessarily. It's just something that happens. It's kind of like saying, what's the purpose of the sunset? You know, there is no purpose. The sun rises and sets, depending on what you meant by that. Depending on what you meant by that. If you're talking about from a spiritual aspect, um, everybody always says that a Mercury retrograde is a plateau period. And I feel that, and that it's actually can be looked at as a very positive thing. And I've been working on that for several years now. I've been working on viewing it as a positive thing for several years. I'm getting a little bit better at that. I guess I'm getting a little bit better at that, but maybe I don't know. Now my lifestyle, the lifestyle that I live, I don't know. I'm just at that phase and that stage in life where I don't want to plateau. I want to keep going. I want to keep moving forward. You know what I mean? My eyes are burning. Let me open the window. Hang on. Let's get some airflow in here. It's too smoky. Got too much incense smoke. Too much incense smoke burning my eyes. Anyway, but yeah, people say that it could be looked at as a very positive thing, you know, and I still struggle with that. I still struggle with that. Here's the funny thing. Check this out. I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, but somebody said, and I think it was in a comment in one of my videos or something like that, that if you were born during a Mercury retrograde, then it wouldn't really affect you. And I've been hearing this for a while, and then I looked it up, and it turns out I was born during a Mercury retrograde. I was. So I don't know about anybody else, but I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because I'm a retrograde baby, and they hit me like a fucking ton of bricks to the back of my head, And here's the funny thing about it, too. Here's the funny thing. The year I was born, 1988, Mercury went direct. I'm sorry. Mercury went retrograde February 3rd, and I was born on the 5th. Now this year, Mercury goes direct on February 3rd, and my 34th birthday, is on the 5th. Isn't that weird? The year I was born, it went retrograde on the 3rd. This year, it goes direct on the 3rd. I thought that was funny. And I'll be 34. I'll be 34. Yep, I'm a baby. I'm going to stay a baby my whole life, too. Yep, I sure will. I'm going to stay a baby. I'm gonna be like one of those types of people that even when I'm in my 40s, you probably won't even really be able to tell, except for my gray hair. I'm gonna be one of those types. I'll be 40. I know some people like that, who they're in their 40s and you can't really tell. They still act the same way they did when they were in their 20s. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to act like an immature little idiot, but this is one of the side effects of being an Aquarian, and I know there's a lot of other things that goes into it than this, but some of us Aquarians tend to get really, really jaded very quickly, very thoroughly unimpressed. And that leads people to believe that we're very wise, just because we get jaded really quickly, and I don't want to get jaded by life. I don't want to be jaded by life. I don't want to be, because I've noticed that did start happening to me at a very early age, that I got very, very jaded very quickly. And I don't want that to happen. I want to keep my, I've been working real hard over the past couple of years over bringing out the inner inner child who's excited and motivated and happy about life. And for those of you who have heard enough of my story, you know that I have experienced the polar opposite end of that spectrum as far as my mental health goes. So I want to experience the opposite end of that. I'm making it a very strong point to be as happy as possible all the time. So didn't really have a solid landing point with that, but anyway, your mom's an Aquarius. What? Yeah. That's something that happens. So there's something about Aquarian energy that one thing that I've noticed about Aquarius energy is it's like an amplifier. It's like an amplifier. You say your moon is Aquarius, but I've noticed that a lot of Aquarius sun signs, it seems like that Aquarius energy just amplifies their moon sign. You ever notice that? Like I have moon and rising in Virgo, and I've had a lot of people ask me, "Are you a Virgo?" No, my moon and rising is. Every Aquarius I ever met, like if I try to guess their sign, I can never spot an Aquarius ever. I'm even in my days when I was real good at guessing people's signs. I used to do that for fun. I used to do that for the hell of it. Like I would just pick somebody and be like, "I'm gonna guess your sign," like a coworker or something like that. And I could never guess an Aquarius. And I figured out why. Because I would always mistake them for their moon sign. I would always mistake it for their moon sign every time, every single time. It's kind of weird, But I have moon and rising in Virgo. One thing that I am not is OCD. I'm definitely not OCD. Matter of fact, I get kind of irritated. Let me tell you a little something that one of my pet peeves, when people brag about having OCD, people brag about that. They brag about that. Like it's something they want to put on their resume, and I don't really think these people know what OCD means. So I came up with something. Okay. Do you know what that acronym stands for? If you say it really slow, you won't want to brag about it. Okay. Let's say that acronym. Let's spell it out and say it slowly. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Think about that. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Not something that I would brag about. Exactly. But you understand the point that I'm getting at. I'm kind of trailing off a little bit. I'm not one of those my area is a mess here. Look at this. Look, I'm a clutter freak, dude. I'm about to be cleaning all this up in here today, though, because I got some new equipment showing up today, and my backdrop and everything is about to change. I'm about to be experimenting with some new optics for my videos, but I'm not OCD. Everything has to be perfect and neat and all that bullshit. Matter of fact, sometimes I function better in a messy environment. I don't know why. I function better. I don't like it when everything is fucking perfect and I feel like I have to tiptoe. Like, oh my God, am I allowed to touch that? Oh, okay, am I allowed to breathe too hard on this right here? Oh, can I? I don't like that feeling. I don't like that. I hate that feeling. I hate that. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I feel real uncomfortable. Now, I am much better than I used to be. Much better than I used to be because Leah is OCD. She is an OCD clean freak. So I've met her in the middle. When it comes to like the rest of the house and everything like that. I'm real clean. The kitchen is my room in the house, Like I'm the one. The kitchen is my spot. Like I'll clean that kitchen. I get all them dishes and wipe the counters down and all that shit. But this room in this house is my man cave. This is my little area. So anyway, I'm trailing off again. Yeah, they do say that, don't they? Bubblegum. I'm gonna call you Bubblegum. They do say that. They say that intelligent people are really messy and forgetful. That's what they say. I've read a lot of articles that do say that some of the most intelligent people in the world are very, very messy and very forgetful and have a horrible memory. Makes sense. Makes sense from the things that I've read, and their reasoning behind saying that. It makes sense, but that's me. Very messy, very unorganized, very forgetful, very messy, unorganized, and forgetful. Extremely, extremely. I'm not an organized person, at all. If you see my life, like my life looking at it, anything that looks nice and pristine, that's all Leah. That's all Leah. She gets the credit for all that. All the beautiful optics that are in my life, that's all Leah. I can't take credit for any of that. Can't take credit for any of that. Anything that makes my life look very beautiful and pristine and orderly and nice and fancy, that's all Leah. And I'm fine with that. That's cool. That's cool. But just me, I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. 140, what? Your IQ is 140? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's what I've read. I don't really consider myself, it depends on how you define intelligent too. Depends on how you define intelligent. I mean, I'm a very free thinker. I don't form my opinions based on anything but my own hands-on research and experience. That's pretty much the way I would, if you would call that intelligent, I guess. If you would call that intelligent, sometimes I do the best that I can to think very critically and rationally and reasonably. I'm a very logical thinker that can work for or against you, depending. I used to be entirely too logical. Of course, I'm an Aquarius with a Virgo moon. I did spend a great deal of my life living with nothing but the logical brain, powering everything, which you don't want to do. That's another thing I've been working on is getting more in touch with my emotional brain, and having a balance. But when I went to, of course, I've been in and out of therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists' offices since I was four. And when I was 16, a psychologist diagnosed me as being mentally 35. Mentally 35. He says, you are about 19 to 20 years ahead of your physical age mentally. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if that makes me smart or stupid. I think it's just mainly my outlook on life. He said the mentality and the intellect, But of course, too, a lot of people judge intelligence based on your ability to recall and recite arbitrary information. And I think that was all done by design too. The school systems, they grade you based on your ability. Okay, I'm going to give you some random fucking information. You need to memorize it and recall it on my command. No, I'm not. My brain won't let me do that. I did horrible in school. Did horrible. And I think it does have a lot to do with me being a volunteer starseed. But I cannot just sit and cram information into my brain for no fucking reason other than you told me to. No, I can't. My brain won't let me. It won't let me. I've always had this like bullshit detector in my brain. It's like a bodyguard. It's like, this brain's got to be used for something real important one of these days. We ain't got no room for no bullshit. I swear I've had a bodyguard right outside my brain that won't let any useless information in there. I've just always been that way. It's weird, man. Very weird. A volunteer starseed is somebody who's never been to planet Earth before. There's a big team of us here. Big old team of us. Most of the beings on this planet up until here over the past few decades have been long-term karmic humans who have been playing this Earth game since it first started. And whenever the Earth decided that it wants to shift dimensions, there's a big team of us that came in here to help that process. A big team of us that came in from other games, other planets, other star systems, other dimensions, to help shift from the old system to the new system. Big old bunch of us. you know? So, and that incense smoke, I got some new incense. Ugh, chakras. Ugh, and it's burning my eyes. Burning my eyes. I don't think I'm going to be using that again. Don't think I'm going to be using that again. Of course, I'm up too early, too. That could be too. Yeah, I think I'm a second wave or two. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know. I really, the way that I see it, I really can't categorize it in waves like that the way everybody else does, you know? But if I was to like say I'm from one of the waves, it was probably a second waver. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of think that I come from a big family of star seeds, I think I come from a big family of them, honestly. I don't come from, and I know this is going to sound kind of cliche, but I don't come from a normal family. You know, I don't come from a normal family. And I know every family has its dysfunctions and every family has its, problems and its drama and its issues. But my family is just not a family. Just not a family, period. Period. At all. At all. We don't stick together. We are like a piece of glass that's shattered and just spread out. I mean, my family is scattered all across the country, all across the country. We just don't stick together, don't stick together. We don't have each other's backs. We don't really give a shit about each other. Honestly, you know, I am glad that I got to reconcile with my mom. I'm glad I got to do that. So at least there's no nasty energy there, but there's a very good chance I may never see her ever again. I probably won't see my sister ever again. I haven't seen my sister, haven't even talked to my sister since 2014. We were raised together. My brother, I wasn't even raised with him, but I highly doubt I will ever see him again. Haven't seen him since 2015, and I'm cool with it. It's whatever. That's just how my whole family is, dude. It's how my whole family is. So I really honestly think that I came from a big family of star seeds. We don't play the human family game the way other humans play that family game. You know what I mean? We just don't. We just don't, And I was raised that way too, like my grandfather. It's hard to say whether or not he was a star seed or not, because he was real hardcore into the human games. You know what I mean? But he, like when his mom died, him and his brother got into a fight over the estate. He didn't speak to his brother ever again for the rest of his life. Didn't even go to his funeral. His sister lived right down the street, and they went 10 years without even speaking to each other. It's just how my family's always been, dude. It's how we've always been. It's just how we've always been, So that's why a lot of times, like if somebody comes to me for advice, I have to warn them. Family advice, I have to warn you. Disclaimer. I'm not going to give you that family advice that most people gives you, because I'm not one of those people that sees family is family. Family is family. And just because you're family, you have a license to treat me like shit. No. I don't see it that way. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care if you're my brother, or if you're my mother, or if you're my whoever you are. I don't have that just because you're family mentality. No, I will cut you the fuck out of my life and never speak to you again, and I'm cool with it. I will forgive you. I will forgive you. Wish you love and light. I hope you do well, but I just don't want to ever see you again. That's how my whole family is, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, bye, Felicia. There you go. Yep. And I've seen a lot of people who do go through that. And if you go through it the right way, like if you have a real close family member and you have a falling out, the people who go through that and heal from it, and you've heard us talk about healing, how to properly heal, and they actually heal from it, you evolve and do better. If you cut that karmic tie, most family members are just karmic soulmates anyways. If you're a long-term karmic human, more than likely all your family members are nothing but karmic soulmates anyway. And that's the only thing you're even doing is trying to work out karma, you know? Like most entities, who are working on karma, it's not working out in this lifetime. It didn't work out in the last lifetime. It's not going to work out in the next lifetime. So I'm just real big on cutting the whole fucking contract. I'm just real big on cutting the whole fucking contract. You know what I mean? I've just always been that way. Always been that way. Of course, I have heard they have speculated that some of us star seeds, karma can't stick to us anyway. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. I've always been real big on not being karmically tied to anybody and doing the energy work to sever that tie, So, anyway. God damn it, my eyes are driving me nuts, man. Ugh. I'm going to need to, after I get off here, I'm going to need to lay down and get me a little bit of shut eye. I think it's because I'm up too early. Hang on. Hang on, that's Leah. All right. Okie dokie. Anyway. Yeah. Well, yeah. Most, if you are, which a lot of you, I don't know how many people follow me that are long-term humans. I don't know. But if you're a long-term human, that's nothing. There's no big deal. Like pretty much everybody in your life is a past life karmic soulmate. Pretty much everybody. Anybody who makes their way into your life and plays any kind of big role, anybody. Your family members, your school teachers, even your enemies, is people that you've had many, many, many lifetimes together. And that's nothing out of the ordinary at all. That's just how this whole fucking game works, You know what I mean? So, I'm just real big on cutting the contract. I don't like being karmically tied to any person or any situation. It's a nasty feeling, dude. It's a fucking nasty feeling. I hate that feeling of being energetically tied to somebody. I hate it. Hate it. I'll just cut that shit. And it's easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. You have to do it with your own perception. You have to do it with your own perception. And you have to basically assign the connection a meaning. You have to assign the connection a meaning. The minute you assign any experience or any connection a positive meaning, that will, if you see it all the way through, that'll untie you from that person. Somebody comes in, like, let me see if I can think of an example off the top of my head. Okay, I used to use this one all the time. Okay, I'm going to paint a picture in your mind. Check this out. Imagine I have a job working at a factory all the way in Summerlin. Okay. And I got to get in my car. And on the way to Summerlin, I pull over in North Las Vegas at a little coffee shop at a really nasty end of town. It's a lot of crime, not a very good end of town. You know what I mean? But it's my favorite coffee shop. Fucking, they got the best caramel macchiatos. I'm friends with the cashier, And then one day, I know I probably shouldn't be hanging out in this end of town anyway. But one day, I'm on my way to my car, and somebody comes out and robs me at gunpoint. Right? And I freaked the fuck out, dude. I saw my life flash before my eyes. That scares the shit out of me. All right, I'm never stopping in North Las Vegas ever again, ever. So now I'm going to stop at the Starbucks out there in Summerlin, right? Okay, well, one day, a couple of months after this, I meet somebody standing in line at Starbucks, and we get to talking back and forth and chatting it up. Fast forward, we become friends. We start hanging out. We build a business together. 5 years later, we're both CEOs and, president and vice president of this big multi-million-dollar business. Okay. Now, I'm still karmically tied to that dude that robbed me at gunpoint. But if he hadn't have done that, none of this would have happened. Makes sense? And the minute I allow it, see what most people do though, is they want to identify with that traumatic experience. I am this way because I got robbed at gunpoint. Poor boo-hoo, pitiful me. This horrible thing happened to me, And we get too addicted to identifying with our traumas We get too addicted to identifying with our traumas. But if you allow yourself to pop away from all that bullshit and look back on that and say, yeah, but if he hadn't done that, I wouldn't be a millionaire right now. So was that this horrible thing that happened to me? Or was that one of my soulmates? Was that one of my friends from the other side? Was that a bump contract bumping me? You know what I mean? Bumping me into the right track. Make sense? That's how you karmically untie. You can do that with everything that has ever happened to you in your life. You can do that with everything that has ever happened to you in your life. And if you can't figure it out, you get to create it. You all have heard me talk about my 3-step process, right? I have a 3-step process to healing. You don't have to do it like this, but it works. I've done this before. The first step is I have to figure out what that experience taught me about myself. Like say it's a codependency relationship or something like that. A relationship that went really wrong, really wrong. I was abused, I was cheated on, I was lied to, whatever. Okay, well, what did I learn about me? What did I learn about me? Well, I learned that I have no self-confidence, no self-esteem. I'm so desperate and lonely that I'll just cling to anybody that'll come and give me some attention. That's what I learned about me from that experience. Because if I had the slightest shred of self-respect, I never would have given that type of person the time of day anyway. Okay. Step number 2, as soon as I figure out what I learned about myself, I begin working to apply changes to my life. Okay, well, I'm not doing that again. Not doing that again. From now on, the first time I see a red flag like that, deuces, no, sorry, I'm gone. There was red flags all over the place with that person, and they just flew right over my head. So I'm applying changes to my life. I'm never, ever going to stoop to that level ever again and allow anybody like that into my life. I'm good on that. Now, as long as I stay dedicated and consistent to applying these changes to my life, eventually it will begin to produce positive results in my life. Eventually. And as soon as I can point to changes in my life that are a direct result of what I learned about myself from that whole experience, I take the positive changes in my life and I tie them to the person in that experience. And I assign that whole connection a new meaning. I see why you were meant to come into my life so that this could happen. I would not be here if it wasn't for you coming into my life, fucking me over, me learning something about myself, applying changes. Does that make sense? I think y'all get where I'm going with this. I just said it the other night. My career on YouTube is a perfect fucking prime example of this. Perfect. What do you think inspired my career on YouTube? What do you think inspired it? Rainbows and unicorn farts and being happy-go-lucky? No. My career was inspired on YouTube by getting fucked over, getting lied to, getting cheated on, getting shit on, spit on, heart torn out, getting my hopes up and my dreams crashing and burning. It was my career on YouTube was inspired by some bullshit. But you know what? I am so fucking thankful that those people did that to me. I'm so thankful. I wouldn't go back and change any of that for anything in the world. And all my experiences being homeless, being broke, struggling, almost froze to death on the streets. I've almost starved to death on the streets. I've had one foot in the grave. I'm so glad that happened to me. There's no way I would be sitting right here, right now. And I know there's at least one person who will get on and watch one of these videos and hear something that I say and they take it and they apply it to their life and they can help change their life. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't go through it too. Anybody, any healer out there, which I don't consider myself a healer. I can't heal you, but you know what I mean? Any healer, anybody out there, any motivational speaker, anybody you can't do that until you learn how to heal. How am I supposed to teach you how to heal if I didn't get broken myself and learn how to heal myself? So stupid. There's so many people out there who are like broken people. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've all been broken, but they want to try to go help heal everybody when they're still broken. Like, how the fuck do you expect them to do that? Like, you know what I mean? You can't heal nobody. You don't even know how to heal. You're still broken. You haven't done any healing yet. Why are you worried about everybody else and fixing and helping everybody else when you're broken? You have to learn how to heal first. Until you learn how to heal yourself, you don't know how to guide anybody else. You don't even know what to tell them to do. You don't know what advice to give them. You know, you got to get on that healing path and start going yourself. Dig what I'm saying? That's why they say healers are not perfect little beings who are glowing and floating on a cloud. No. Healers climb up from the depths of hell, boy. Climb up from the depths of hell. Get drugged through the 7 pits of hell and have to figure out how to climb out of it. That's why I tell people, you want to be a healer? Watch out. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. We've talked about this before, but in case there's some new faces in here, be careful what you ask for if you want to be a healer. Universe going to break your ass. Universe going to break your ass. Then heal you. And then guess what? Then the universe is going to deliver you the most broken, toxic people on the fucking planet. Because those are the ones you need to help. Yup. Yup. Hang on. Oh, anywho. Yeah, shadow work. Yep. All that good stuff, man. All that good stuff. Shadow work. I mean, I kind of dig shadow work, man. I kind of dig it. You know? See, once you reach a point where nobody can throw anything at you, that's the success mentality that I've told you about. The success mentality is very simple. You look at challenges and obstacles as opportunities for growth. You're unstoppable. The minute you start perceiving all challenges and all obstacles as opportunities, nobody can throw anything at you. You will bounce back from anything. That's why I don't live in fear. That's a real big thing that a lot of you out there manifesting success need to take into account. A real big thing. Because nobody talks about what happens after you get it. Nobody talks about what happens after you get it. You manifest that success, bam, then what? A lot of people get scared. A lot of people start living in fear. If you really, really, really live with the success mentality, no matter what happens, it's an opportunity. You know what I mean? You really, 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 once you get there, you need to really start working on strengthening your mind. You know what I mean? Oh. Yeah, exactly. Phoenix rising. Yep. But once you get to that point, like that's why I don't live in fear. You know, does that mean that nothing bad is ever going to happen to me? I have no idea. I mean, I could wake up in the morning and everything get taken away from me. I'm not afraid of that. You know, because anytime something happens, I've told you all before, I'm immediately thinking in the future. And I'm connecting to that version of me that exists out there in the quantum field that used this challenge as an obstacle, is an obstacle for growth, an opportunity for growth and learning. You know what I mean? So once you start perceiving every challenge that happens to you as an opportunity, the challenge is the way. You're unstoppable. You know what I mean? Unstoppable. Yeah, I'm not afraid of death either. The only thing that I'm afraid of is I don't want to leave Leah or my kids. That's the only thing that scares me about death. The only thing that scares me about death is leaving them behind and how bad that would fuck them up, which is a big turnaround for me. We talked about this before, but at one point in time, back when I was suicidal, back when I was trying to kill myself, when I was in my 20s, you couldn't have explained that to me. There's no way you could explain to me that my life is important, that I'm needed, my kids need me, you know, and whatnot. You couldn't have explained that to me. I was convinced that the world was a better place without me. Now, complete and total 180-degree turnaround. That's the only reason that I want to stay alive, is because I know I got Those 3 women down the hall right there are the most important fucking thing to me. You know what I mean? They're my whole world. I wouldn't want to, leave them behind. What that would do to them. But as far as experiencing death, no, I'm not scared of that. Not scared of that at all. Not scared of that at all. I've been there, man. I've been there. It's nothing scary. Ain't nothing scary. I mean, I was in a real low vibrational, low frequency state when I did die. So looking back from my human perspective, it's kind of scary to look back on. But at the time, it wasn't scary. Not at the time, But anywho, oops. Yep. A lot of us get there. Yep. Absolutely. Hang on, what? But anyway, I'm going to be getting out of here in a few more minutes. Let's see. It is almost 6 a.m. here in Vegas. Almost 6 a.m. But anyway, y'all got any good plans for the weekend? Oh, y'all got any good plans for the weekend? I want to get as much work done as possible. I just want to sit home and get some work done. And like I said, starting today, I can't promise you're going to see it today, but I am going to start working on a new background. I got some new lighting coming in and some backdrops. A big stand for backdrops, and I got some new lighting. So that should be cool. I'm probably going to rearrange this entire room. With my lights. And for those of you who have followed me for a while, I used to have a backdrop to every single video that I did. I used to get like tapestries, like a forest tapestry, and put it behind me. And I don't think I'm going to go with that, but I am going to be experimenting with some different backdrop images, like brick wall and stuff like that, and just cool little designs and whatnot. So anyway, yeah, just something to change it up. You know what I mean? Something to change it up. Because this is just like my whole life. My whole life and my whole world revolves around being at home and getting work done. That's like all I do. All I do is sit at home and work. So that's pretty much all my life revolves around, and after a while you want to change things up, switch things up, and plus it gives you good feedback too. It gives you good feedback to see what people like and see what people don't like. Every time I ask, like 99% of the time, whenever I ask audience feedback on something, they always tell me don't change nothing. And it's kind of frustrating. When people say, don't change nothing. I'm like, well, damn, I'm getting bored. It's really like, of course, you see anybody that does a living, that makes a living doing something that entertains people, whether it's music or whether it's stand-up comedy or anything, or whether you're a YouTuber, you always notice that person evolves over time. They change, and it's really, 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 really difficult to stay the same. It's really difficult. But then eventually you'll get to a point where some people evolve and they change too much and the audience doesn't like it anymore. They like that original, so I don't know. I just like trying different things and getting new feedback and whatnot. I used to always do the backdrops on my video. And then I said, no, I kind of want just like a homey environment, like with just a nice home environment behind me. And now I got kind of like, I guess what looks like a living room setting type in here. This is a bedroom, but it kind of looks like a living room setting, maybe put some bookcases or something behind me. But I think I'm going to go back to the backdrops again. So anyway, wait a minute. What? Hang on. Oh yeah. I wish you luck on that, on your YouTube channel there. Just do it for fun. Do it for fun. That's like people always ask me advice on, starting a YouTube channel and whatnot. And there are a few things that you do want to keep in mind as far as marketing and as far as like, you know what I mean? Like the titles of your videos and your thumbnails. And there's not really a way to get around that. You pretty much have to play that game if you want to be successful on YouTube. But other than that, though, just be you. Be you, be you, be yourself. That's the hardest part. That is the hardest part. But even that can turn around and kind of bite you in the ass sometimes, because here's the part that I've struggled with. Here's one of the hardest parts. Like you find that real, raw, true, authentic energy, like the highest vibrational version of you yourself. Well, people expect to see that every fucking time. Every fucking time. Every fucking time. People expect you to bring all that energy to the table. So if you got to get some work done, if it's on a day when you didn't sleep good that night, you're just not fucking feeling it, and then you get on camera and you are the slightest bit off of that energy that everybody expects, man, people will throw tomatoes at you and everything, dude. Yep. Throw tomatoes at you, boo, Like people don't realize that you're just a regular person like they are. They don't realize that. They hold very high standards and high expectations that you're going to bring the exact same version of yourself to the camera every single time. So that can be a struggle. That's the reason why, like yesterday, I laid low because I wasn't feeling it. I cannot get on camera and be fake. I'm not a very good actor. I can't fake it. If I'm not feeling all the way 100, I just won't even get on camera. I just won't even do it. Won't even do it. Nope. Won't even do it. I would rather wait till a day where I'm actually feeling pumped up and feeling good, Yep. It's a big eye opener doing this for a living. You'll be looking at everything differently. And here's another thing that it can help you with. Being a career YouTuber can really help you stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Now, let me explain why. Whenever I very first started putting video content on the internet, I had this idea in my mind that I am going to be so real and so authentic that there's no way that anybody out there is going to misconstrue who I am, And that was a big eye opener, because that's when I really understood, it really hit me harder than it ever has before, that there is no way to make anybody think anything about you. There's no way. That's when I really started realizing people don't see you as you are. They see you as they are, because it doesn't matter how real you're being, how authentic you're being, how true, you know what I mean? Like everybody is going to see you differently. Everybody is going to see you differently. Leah brought this up one time. And this put me in the weirdest position too. It feels so weird. Like you look in the comment section and you see somebody bitching and trolling and hating and running their mouth, right? And then you see a couple of people arguing, defending me. And none of them know what they're talking about. None of them know what they're talking about, Like, obviously, the person bitching, trolling, and hating has no fucking clue what they're talking about, but neither does the person defending me, And it's really weird. It puts you in a really weird position where it's like there is no way to make people understand where you're really coming from if they don't want to. You know what I mean? So it really, really helps, because people struggle with caring what people think about them. You know what I mean? And I would really have to say that this has helped me more than anything really stop caring. Like really, really, truly, genuinely stop giving two fucks what you think about me, because you're going to think what you're going to think. And it doesn't really matter what I say. It doesn't matter what I do. You're going to think what you're going to think. And there's nothing I can do to change that, So it really helps you. It can really, really help you find your true, authentic self too. It really can. It really can. It really can. But anyway, Anywho, I said, what? I don't know what you mean. I said, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, yeah, Enchanted Cottage. Yep. That's a big part of it. Big part of it. And you see, there's two kinds of people. There's two different types of people, you know, and you either break through that or you fall off. You either break through that or you fall off. And if you break through that, once you break through that and you realize, ain't no point in caring what you think about me. There's no point. There's no point because there are people out there who, and you see that you'll see this in the comment section of almost any like YouTube video. I've seen it in my videos. Any successful YouTuber out there, you'll see this. Somebody bitching and hating and running their mouth. And everybody with a half ounce of common sense all comes in and says the same thing. Then why are you watching? Isn't that what you like whenever you see somebody? Everybody always asks the same question. Then why are you watching? Because most normal people can't wrap their mind around why the fuck anybody would dedicate their time to watching something or someone that they hate. But there are people out there that are that fucking sick. There are people out there that are that twisted, that sick, that fucked up in the head. Guarantee you somebody's watching this live right now doing that, hating everything that I say, just mad and angry. There are those people out there. They are out there. Because this goes back to what we were talking about people who are addicted to negativity. People get addicted, physiologically addicted to negativity. There are. Oh, yes, there are. Yep, absolutely. So when you break through that, though, when you break through that and you realize, you know what? I can just be me. I can just be me. And if you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. Oh, fucking well. You know, I'm not going to do anything to try to change your mind. I'm not going to say anything to try to make you think something about me. You might think I'm really fucking awesome. You might think I'm really fucking arrogant. If you hate me and you're watching me anyway, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the thing you really got to pay attention to. Like, if you hate me, but you're sitting around watching me anyway, you're an idiot. Who does that? That just shows how stupid you are. That's all you have to do with your time is sit around and watch somebody you hate. You're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? So once you break through that, that's when it gets really easy. It gets much easier. It gets much, much easier. You know what I mean? Much, much easier. Anyway, anywho, it is about time for me to go ahead and get on out of here, though, y'all. About that time. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening to me blab and run my mouth. I don't know what I'm going to get done today. Probably the weekend forecast. Let's see, where am I at? Hold up. I don't even know where I'm at. Libra. Okay, so I got Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. I would love to get all 5 bonuses done today, but who knows? Anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Friday.